Hey, my name is PolishLynx, and let us continue the journey to our esports dream. And don't forget our esports dream. Anyway, change of clothes, quick shower, and I find my way back to the PC bunk by noon. But as I reach for my key, I find my room's door already slightly ajar. I've got a bad feeling about this. I open it to find Jet lying on my bed with her back to me. When I enter, she reaches out to touch the left wall with one hand and the shower door with another. Even smaller than mine. Explain yourself. Hey, aren't you glad to see me? Yes, I am. Jet falls back on the bed, belly up this time. Asked me so where Yuna lives and tricked you from the desk into giving away your room. Use the deadbolt next time. Jet flashes her KPGA license between her index and middle finger. I shouldn't be surprised that a Goshu one has weak locks. I'm impressed by how clean you keep this place. Team House Life teaches you that, especially if you don't have a mate. Right, nice pink bedspread, by the way. It was the only one they had. Sure, fine. Still, I'm surprised you weren't here this morning. Did I inspire you to start a morning jog? Not exactly. How long have you been waiting? Wait a second. The Jet patiently waiting for my turn, with nothing to do but stare at the ceiling. Not that long. Her eyes betray her when they shift towards the box on my desk. When I take a step forward, she flinches. But I might have gone through some of your things. I swear with a disapproving stare. She blusters for a moment before putting it back together. I've had nothing to do but practice faceless drones on ladder and scam kids with me so for the past 9 months. Can you blame me for wanting a break from the monotony? For breaking in, you mean? I should really get her back for this. What's something I could use to embarrass Jet? Do you remember all those interview questions they posed to your esports rush? What are you getting at? The one that stood out to me was, who is your choice for the most handsome pro gamer? And you said, stop! I was eager for my own good back then, alright? There was another good one. Who is your favorite partner for 2 versus 2? And you answered too many. Too many to count. Yeah, I played a lot of 2 versus 2. Alright, it was fun at the time. Those memories impressed me, even if I say it all different now. You don't have to make me feel bad about it. And you didn't have to break into my room, but here we are. You truly are a bored and lonely girl. She bounced off the bed and towards the door, palming my shoulders to turn me back around. You're lucky there wasn't anything I care to keep private in that box. I'm lucky. What kind of secrets are you keeping these days? You don't want to know. You came! See? I told you guys. Whoa, Jet, long time no see. Did you doubt my precious Hobai, young? Not really. I know you've been around, but me and Seo has come back with some wild stories recently. They're hard to believe when she's always lies about bringing snacks to the club. Behind them, Miso bonks her own head gently and strikes a charming pose. I know. You're welcome to come see the extent of her training for yourself tomorrow. Yeah, sure, maybe. Speed off, we can't waste time, let's move. Wait, I have one last thing before I end our club meeting. Ahem, it's been too long since we've gone as a group to an XSL match, so pros that next Thursday we make a club trip to watch the round of 16. And if it wouldn't be too much trouble, Bond and Jet, would you like to join us? Sorry, Minseo. Sung-Wan and I are traveling to ICG that weekend. But While most of the room focuses on Misao's exaggerated antics, one of her club members sidles up on my left.
So, you're a pro gamer too?
I nod my answer without looking towards him. I don't really feel like getting into the details right now.
That's cool, cause I've always wondered what kind of guys Chae-young hangs out with. Now it makes sense.
I don't think she cares if one is a pro nearly as much as if they're good and have the drive.
I'd have thought pro gamers were her type. Like that's why she was always at XSL after school, even before she got her license.
They probably are, but Chae-young went to XSL back then because she liked to play StarCraft.
Probably. Are you two together?
This dork is overfamiliar abrasiveness doesn't chafe me half as much as his question, even if he used to obsess about the same thing once. We train together, practice partners.
Then just friends.
If that's how you want to put it, you still have no shot. His eyes widen, he turns away and bursts.
I barely have time to breathe with all the time spent at cram school, maybe after practice tests.
They're not for more than a month. You guys are so unreliable.
Misao catches sight of the two heads poking through the classroom door. I wonder who they are looking for, what they might be interested in. Anyway.
Oh yeah? You guys interested in our club?
But after a second in Jet's gaze, the students wither and flee with a laugh. Come on, Misao, hope you got lots of sleep last night.
Okay, meeting adjourned. See you guys next Friday. I'll bring snacks, promise.
Her clubmates groan as we make our way out.
And no lighter?
If you want this match... Actually, if you want to win this match... You have to. You need to. StarCraft takes commitment. Are you serious about winning?
I want to be.
Then make the next 16 hours count. Even for teams know the importance of the rest these days. Peer pressure and all norms keep practice hours long for most players, even the day before rematch. With how new Misao is to competitive play, there really isn't another choice. The irony of enforcing that mistake isn't lost on me. Misao loads into a game with noticeable reluctance. With how hard we've been drilling her, maybe it's time to shake up her practice with something to keep her interested. Hold up. Leave this match and join one against the computer.
Hey, okay.
What's your favorite Protoss unit?
Let me think. Probes, and then carriers, or maybe reavers. They're like big, goofy slugs.
I see you go for the robots. I don't blame you. Zealots and Templar are ugly. They're also extremely strong, but okay, this works out fine. All the units you mentioned have techniques to learn. Macro remains the most important aspect for you to focus on in your gaming against one, but a little micro can't hurt either.
Okay.
Alright, one of the first things you'll do against one or any other Terran is send a probe to scout. When you do that, it's important that you don't lose focus on either it or your base. SCVs have 20 more hit points than a probe. If you attack an SCV and look away for 5 seconds, your scout is done for. On that same token, focus on your scout too much and you will delay your build.
But the probe always wins against an SCV when they fight in XSL matches.
That's because SCVs have less range. Both drones and probes can attack SCV without getting attacked back, but only with strong macro. It's too much to ask that you master the trick in a day, but keep in mind the advantage you have when scouting a Terran base.
Got it! No, I'm telling one kill. I'm letting one kill my precious probes.
Carrier snacks. Do we need to touch on this? How likely is it that she will make it that late into the game? In the off chance they do, this would be good to know. It's a useful skill to have. I'm sure you know, but carriers don't fire any shots themselves. They fire tons of interceptors that themselves fire individually.
They're so much fun to use. When you have a bunch of carriers, it's super chaotic and loud and you deal a zillion damage.
She pantomimes an interceptor's flight path with both hands and mimics the sound of their shots. I have no idea how to do that. True, but the chance you will get to build that massive number without being attacked in a real game is extremely unlikely, especially when you only have a few carriers. You need to hit and run. The carrier is the only unit in the game that can continue to attack while retreating. That's because its attack range is longer than the range where it deploys interceptors. This trick only works properly with focus fire, not attack move. But with good positioning, you can pick off Goliaths or missile turrets without putting your carriers at risk. Okay.
Oh, I mean, okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Last stop is rivers. I'm sure you're well aware of how slow they are.
Of course, that's why they are cute. I just want to scoop them out with a shuttle and take them where they need to go.
What? They are cute? Okay. I don't know where is the cuteness on that picture, but okay.
Exactly. Shuttles negate the river's main weakness. With upgrades to shuttle speed and river damage, those two units alone can sometimes be enough to win a game, but only with strong micro. It's important that you can pick up and drop off the river without the shuttle slowing to a stop. The faster you can get in and out, the better chance you will land scarab shots, deal damage, and keep the river alive. Don't use the unload command. It forces the shuttle to slow to a stop before it drops the river off. If you press the river icon on the shuttle, it will drop instantly. To reload the river into the shuttle, send your shuttle on an escape path that passes over your river, and click it right as it flies over. The shuttle won't slow down and you will escape much faster. You make it look so easy. This is so much more fun than building a dragon really fast.
Which is why how little it affects your win percentage in comparison to macro is so counterintuitive.
So, what should I do next?
Warm up your building against the eye once or twice and then jump to as many games as you can until you need a break, and don't try to implement all this one at once.
Got it! I'll do my best!
God damn it. Is this the word I'm looking for? You staying overnight? What about like this? What? No way, I didn't do that.
Since when? I want to do some replay analysis to prep for ICG.
Wait, you'd seriously pull an all-nighter at a PC bank?
Every now and then, you don't need to be a dick about it.
I'm not trying to be. We can do replay review, that's fine.
We don't have to.
I want to. I haven't gone over any matches since I got cut. Your games or mine.
Neither. We need to remember how to play on these old maps.
is the ICG map pulpit. How old are we talking?
Weird rush distances, open naturals. There's also an island map, nothing as aggressive as a pre-Brood War map, but still sketchy.
Why the hell don't they run standard maps? Foreigners are so clueless.
It isn't ideal, but this is why we prepare.
Chaeyoung grabs the arm of my chair and wheels it to her side. Ooh.
I'm putting the replay timer on 4 times speed. Don't blink.
Don't blink. After a full night of analysis and strategy talk, I stretch out and yawn. Watching replay is never as productive as to practice on its own, but is critical to strategic breakthroughs. What Jet and I agreed on was always useful to note, but it's where we disagreed that we both learned something new. It hadn't ever dawned on me that the mere sight of Protoss units moving towards Zerg is enough to inflict damage given the way that LARPA works. I'll have to abuse that in our practice games. It's not until I stand and stretch out that I realize the time, not by the light shining through the cafe's single window, but by the sight of a sleeping Minseo. Do we wake her? It must be close to noon.
Leave her until I can find some breakfast for her. There is nothing worse than a serious match on an empty stomach.
I think there's a snack vending machine downstairs.
Yeah, it will have to do.
Minseo isn't the only one asleep. The cleric's weekend part-timer and half-dozen patrons cover their faces with magazines and roll into their station's QSEN. One of the goons ducks outside as soon as I catch him coming up the stairs. But rather than stay hidden, he finds himself pushed back into my point of view, not by a clan mate, but by one of Minseo's classmates.
Whoa, hey man, didn't we have violence together in middle school? I didn't know you were in goon. You're such a dog. You still play? Violin? Not really. Mostly just StarCraft these days. Nice, same. I'm here to watch a match for my school's club. Must be against you guys. Move! We need to get set up. Got it. I'll talk to you later, Ben.
A few more goon clanmates climb the stairs, shortly followed by Jet and then another person I recognize from Minseo's club.
Minseo, time to wake up.
Already? And I've got to see for myself that she can actually play. It's not that hard to believe. She still hangs out with Chaeyoung after all.
Minseo practically inhales Jet's vending machine fruit cup, which does some good to wake her up. With a small stretch, she bounces out of her chair and onto her feet.
Are you nervous? Which one of them are you up against?
A little.
She squints and points out one through the crowd of his underlings.
That one!
I sometimes see that guy outside the XSL studio. Kind of hard to miss.
Minseo's other classmate wipes his glasses and fixes her with a stare.
I never took you as a betting type, Minseo.
Don't tell me you owe him money. Well, maybe thinks I do. There was this bad match, right? And then they got all mad and show up and wanted to take command of Golden Zonefire and... It's a game to decide who's right and who's wrong. All there is to it.
A fact like that isn't obvious, but I'd expect Jet to know it depends. To know it. Debates and compromises are complicated. A fact is simple, that truth comes naturally to everyone, even Minseo.
It's time!
What's with the codex? One and Minseo meet eyes when he takes his first steps across the room. With his clan in retinue, he towers over his station and waits.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
I have to be. I can't call myself a StarCraft fan unless I do this.
That's the spirit. Let's rumble.
Bring it on!
They choose setups just across from one another. Behind one, his clanmates gang up to spectate. When one of them tries to cross over to watch from our side, Jet stares so hard that he steps back without a word. Minseo opens Soundart just as we practiced. Her sees her focus on the screen before her earns the interest of her nearby classmates.
Wow, she really can play.
But Minseo does not swear. She sends her scouts across the map just a few seconds slower than I would have.
Lucky, she found his spawn right away.
Her probe harass isn't half bad either. Might slow him down a bit.
Yeah, and he still hasn't taken his gas.
Huh. Meanwhile, once SCV enters her base a half minute later, she's quick to target with a few probe attacks, and soon enough it scurries back to one's base. Not long after, she calls a retreat of her own probe. Late gas and a single barracks point to the likelihood of a greedy expansion. Jet and I see confidence on her face when she looks back at us with a smile. Chae-Young chides her right away by pointing back to her screen. With the commotion from Clan Goon and the four of us here supporting Minseo, a bunch of Cap patrons huddle around to watch. Even Smoke's part-timer wakes in time to join the crowd.
He must have expanded! I'll leave the dragon here! Search for her base and keep my lead!
A probe she sends out onto the map to search out macro gimmicks from Goon disappears from the minimap. She takes just as long to notice, with her focus on her build horror. By the time she realizes her scout is missing, she finds the cause at her doorstep.
What?
You idiot!
An all-in army of marines and civvies tears down the meager defense at Minseo's natural expansion and boosts out the ramp to her main. In her shock, Minseo is slow to put up her defense. It's hard to imagine it would have made much of a difference considering the size of Goon's force.
Nice play! Standard! So standard! Expand to crushed by a one-base push. No doubt that's standard from you.
Flustered, Minseo breaks her attention away from the units destroying her base and aims it at Goon. His grin starts ear to ear.
Minseo, focus. You're not out of this yet.
She's taken a ton of damage already and won't have time to get dragon range. Wisely, Minseo does the only thing she can in this scenario and pulls her props. But there's just too many marines. With one's bunker nearly finished, she's forced to call a retreat with the probes that survive her desperate attack.
You expanded! How do you have so many units?
Did you? Did you see me expand? Think back and think real hard.
Wait, did you?
Of course I did.
He roars with laughter, the crowd behind him joining in as he dances his units back and forth in Minseo's base. Her hand trembles on the mouse.
I knew think I'd play a normal game. You've been practicing with pro gamers, but that's not how Goon Clan rolls. All along I had our barracks waiting in the center of the map. All I had to do was make my units and move. Easy.
With her final effort to defend for roughly defeated, Minseo can continue. She types out a GG. The Goon clan shares fist bumps and laughs with its leader, all impressed and amused with one's tactic.
Typical coin-flipping piece of shit. Minseo, it's fine. You play fine. You were on track to a solid mid-game.
With her forehead resting on keyboard, Minseo lets out a long sigh and answers without looking up.
I suck. Even after practice from you guys I lost, and while you were cheering me on.
It's just one game. You'll have plenty more to come.
Yeah, you play way better than I thought.
Across the aisle, Goon puts his hands behind his head and shows his teeth at me and Jet.
Hope you're ready to keep your end of the bargain. Welcome home, boys.
Goon offers hand behind. It's promptly high-fived by his closest clanmate.
Hold on.
A voice cuts through the Goon clan's revelry from across the cafe to earn the attention of all, even those trying to ignore this so much to kill walkie mushrooms in the forest. Smoke stands in doorways to the back entrance. He does an envelope to his part-timer as he steps to stand before one.
What is it?
I'm satisfied with that.
So what? It's none of your business. It's my place, you brick. I've got the right to refuse service if I feel like it. But I'm a man prone to boredom, so how about this? We play StarCraft, I win, you leave my place to that girl. You win, I give you and your pals here 43 hours in the PCs. You really don't.
You really don't. But he silences me with a look. His lackadaisical, uninterested impression remains constant. One contorts his previously victorious expression. It's a tempting offer, and yet...
Do you even play this game? You're like twice my age.
I don't look it, do I?
Screw it, let's go. Double or nothing.
One whoops the clanmates around him into a frenzy with some hand waving and hollering. He crashes right back into his chair and throws his headset back on.
This can't end well.
But on my other side, Mr. watches smokes with wide-eyed awe as he takes his place. Her place. And okay. Sorry, as he takes his place in her chair.
Can you really beat this guy, Mr. Clerk?
I've got no idea.
The cleric does not waste a second before sending his first SCV across map. Another proxy for this time it's on one to defend it.
Wait a second, he's going to pull the boys, isn't he? Huh? What does it mean?
Watch, here comes the Marines with the SCVs right behind. Both sides watch this early game knife fight explode at the 3-minute mark in silence. All it comes down to from here is Mikra. He finished the bunker. Is this actually happening? It's like I'm traveling back in time. This is practically all StarCraft used to be in the 90s. Where one fruitlessly tries to outdamage the clerics repairing SCVs. Each time a marine spawns, the clan leader is too slow to pull it away. And just like that, he's over. One more South HG and then starts the screen.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow, you've got to be joking. What the hell? That was total bullshit. That wasn't even StarCraft. That's the only StarCraft I know. Seems like it still works fine. It was nothing. You don't even know how to play this game, old man.
Well, I told you I'm satisfied with that. What I was referring to was your ugly rush. No, I'm satisfied. Hope you learned something.
I won't accept this. You tricked me. Play me again on the real map.
You lost. My house. My rules.
The cleric reaches for the ashtray at his mousepad and takes a long drag.
End of the line, bucko.
Kun reels and flays for retort. He slams both fists into the keyboard. Slow, shoves himself away from the desk.
Screw you, your cafe rushing away. Let's roll, Gon.
I mean, let's roll, Goon, but whatever. His clan, stuck with a mixture of dumbstruck and speechless faces, quietly follow him out the door. There is a moment of calm when the last one leaves. The handful of other patrons watch smokes. His PC kept silent for the first time since I've been here. Then they wander back to their station and return to whatever games they'd been playing. Business as usual.
That was amazing, Mr. Clayton. He's back him. How can you micro like that when your fingers are so old and tired?
It's nothing I was doing 10 years ago. You know the game's that old, don't you?
I'm not too impressed. That guy's reaction was terrible. But for helping me sell, thank you, and it's always nice to see someone I don't like lose.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's safe to say our agreement is off, but why bother with us? He sniffs, eyeing Jet before shifting his gaze towards me.
Ask me something. How do you do it? This life you're living.
What, playing on stage? Life in a team house?
Just about every kid that's come in here and every other PC bang for the past decade want to play their favorite game on TV, but none but a few ever did.
StarSense. Okay, then let's go top 7 kings. Boom. You know, I don't totally lack respect for that clan. They know something that's hard to swallow. The 10 pushing in one direction can punish what 20 pushing in whatever direction they feel like cannot.
Well, that's true.
I've always wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, and it won't always be esports, but right now I'd still be satisfied playing my part in this great machine. Just after Elf's perspective, maybe a slightly better cog. But the whole 7 Kings storyline is a perfect example. 6 or maybe even all 7 will fail, but each individual failure combined tells a story that captivates the fans. 7 no! 100 failures and 1 success means a massive triumph for esports fans all across Korea.
God dang, the Shebel have really figured out how to print their workers. And yet, here we are playing StarCraft, the one that broke free.
Of course, he has no response to my actual point. What the hell does he know? Okay, let's see other stuff. Braver. Open, okay. The day that I won Braver, that's when all this started.
They heard that even when I still play the game.
I was during my final year of high school, 3 months before graduation, and right after I finished that set. A few teams tried to recruit me right away, but I held off to finish school. I was training and studying so hard that I barely have any memory of that time. When 3 months were up, the offers were all gone except one. It was a no-brainer, even if my parents wouldn't support me, and even if I was supposedly putting my life on hold, I had to try.
No regrets.
I feel a smile form on my face. I could have done better, but I do not regret that choice. And we have one more option that I want to use. And that is Jet. What? That I'm only a pro gamer because I'm stuck in an eternal valley with this girl that I can escape? There is no way I can admit something like that, especially when she's standing right there. It's not exactly wrong, but why does that have to be what pops into my head? Because I said so.
You okay?
Yeah, sorry, give me a sec. It's okay, I'm more comfortable talking these things out with Jet, honestly. When she pushes back, I know I'm either onto something or totally wrong. Smokes has probably heard enough from us. He wasn't supposed to get involved in the first place. What are my answers? I don't pretend to have them all. But my life as a pro gamer isn't something that anyone can take away from me. From either of us.
Speak for yourself. I never called myself a pro gamer.
For a moment, there's silence. We all heard what she said, but...
What? You're totally a pro gamer! You were on the team, lived in a team house, played matches on TV!
But what have I actually accomplished?
Those are accomplishments, folks, when players dream of doing what you have.
No, we dream of championships and glory. What I had was a pale imitation. Do you know how I got my license, Miso?
You must have won it from Braver, of course. I can't remember which, but...
It was literally handed to me. That's how I became pro gamer, because someone else decided I should be one. But I never earned that right. While I was in the KPGA, my only games were exhibitions or 2 vs 2s or other whole spectacle. Not once did I qualify for XSL, but that didn't stop heaps of praise from every direction. You're selling yourself short.
I'm really not. Even if you were just practice partner, at least you were part of the team. I was nothing, and when I dared to ask for more, I was partly offered a place on the shelf. Seen, but unheard, so I saw myself out. In the silence that follows, the clerk steps off the station he'd been leaning on to stand before her.
That's not an answer. Bolt won't quit because someone told him to. What about you? If they're tell you no enough times, or if they made it obvious you weren't fit, we'll let them. Are you prepared to live things like that?
Hell no! Not until they learn how wrong they were.
Then I hope that I won't have to see that if you suck around here much longer.
Hey, thanks, I think. He nods softly and turns, soon at home behind his desk and magazine. God damn it, I bet he was the pro in the 90s or something like that. I bet he was. So, Miso, after all of this, think you will keep practicing? After taking a moment to think, Miso reaches into her pocket, she stares intently at whatever she's holding and then grips it tight.
Well, I've got a club to lead. I'm gonna walk into school tomorrow and be like, hey babe, you better show up to the club or else you're a chubba. I don't think I'll ever be a great StarCraft player. But I don't need to be either to see StarCraft grow and cheer for my favorite players. You know, you both are so brave that one grows up being told they have to get perfect grades to get into the right school so that they can get a job at SS5 or wherever.
What's that say? SS5? SS5. Soviet Theater Ballistic Missile. I don't think she refers to that. But I might be mistaken. Multi-frequency telephone signaling system. Probably not. Submarine of the United States Navy. Also probably not. Workstation produced by Sun Microsystems. What? That's also not. What the hell is an SS5? Confused. Whatever.
You guys went through all of that only to choose something even more competitive and way more scary.
We're trying to play video games for a living. Brave is probably going too far.
Well, even if this. I feel lucky to be part of all of this. I feel like I should show it somehow. Jed, you already have my undying love and affection, but Bolt, you helped me out even though you barely know me. I want you to take this.
A probe keychain. That's thoughtful of you, Minseo. Thank you.
His name is Probe Gun. Please take good care of him. If you open him up, you'll see he's also thumb drive, but be gentle.
Yeah, of course. Probes only have 40 HP.
Well, I'll be rooting for you guys at ICG. I hope we have it on my broadcast.
With you cheering for us, how can we lose? You don't match against me early in bracket. You don't match against me early in the bracket, that's how.
Unlikely. When do you guys fly out?
Friday morning, less than a week. We've got serious practice ahead of us between then and now. I haven't even taken a look at the bracket. How exactly is the tournament going down? A few invites and winners of regular locked qualifiers make up 14 spots of a 16-person bracket. The last 2 spots are reserved for whoever qualifies through pools. It's going to be extremely competitive. It should be mostly foreigners, so no big deal. No way the KPGA is letting their talent touch a non-affiliated open bracket. Wrong, unfortunately. Junk won the Korea qualifier and they're letting him go.
Seriously, I practiced 2 stations down from Junk. How the hell did I miss this?
By the way, if you thought that was bad, one of those invites is for fears.
No!
The pipe dream of miracles open brackets lock into an underdog win suddenly seems a lot less likely. Last season's champ and my former CHB renowned teammate. The latter knows my play in and out, and the former is too good to care. Well, I can hope for a fair day, I guess. Sorry, Jet. Fears is way too good, but I might be able to take Junk with all the ZP you've been giving me. He's better than me, though, not by much. Is there any way to make sure we aren't on the same side of pools?
Hey! What happened with you cheering for us? How can we lose?
Minseo performs her displeasure expertly convincing aside from the smile she fails to avoid cracking.
Sorry, Minseo. Positive self-talk can only get you so far.
But we'll totally win, promise.
Well, I'm gonna get started on new club activities right away. Websites to update, microphones to buy. I'll see you guys later.
She waves and whirls on her way out. Jet and I take our time before following suit. You should find someone else to practice with until we fly out. Afraid of exposing all your tricks before the tournament? I'm serious, we've only been working on one matchup. Unless you plan on winning PvP or PvT with Corsairs somehow, a practice won't count for much against more than half of the players there. And yes, you should be. We're almost guaranteed to face off as long as you don't screw up. You're probably right. With both ears and junk there, I need to work on my PvP. She shoots me a side look there. Warily. Jet steps a little closer. So, I'll be practicing on my own for the next few days. What about you? Do you have any other practice partners? No one I can reach out to. I'll probably just ladder. I just want to make sure you're taking this seriously. International plane tickets aren't easy to come by. Yeah, thanks for that. If I haven't said it enough. Sure. She kicks a stray piece of gravel into the street and buries her hand in her pocket. When was the last time you went outside of South Korea? Japan, for my school's senior trip. I could have had a better time, but I was too mad about something one of their fair-right politicians said right before we went. You have problems, and you're a preppy scum. Ours was to Busan, but less that weekend. Busan. When I don't say anything for a while to think of Locke's beachfront final, I feel a sharp pinch on the back of my arm. Chae-young stops, turns and bores her eyes straight through me. Take my advice. Nothing is going to get you put back on CHB renown. Not that you should even want back on. Stop thinking you're a special kind of screw-up for what happened to you. Shouldn't I? I spent a year of my life helping them build something only for them to dump me. You're a good player and you can still have a conversation with any of those guys, so what the hell did you lose? You say you didn't deserve it, and I believe you. Even more reason to quit looking back. It's my turn to kick a loose piece of gravel. It's annoying that you're right. You looked up to those guys, sure, but you know how the game is. Everyone is too worried about themselves to stick their necks out for anyone else. Some of them sure, but look.
Look. The best revenge is living well. So, Sun Quan, live well.
I reach out and jab her shoulder with my fist. This time, she doesn't feel the need to hide her smile.
Station's just ahead. Keep an eye on your texts.
Will do. Here is a crazy idea. How about we train with the old guy? With Smokey. She turns, then I do. Ahead's my gushy one. Building peeks out from the rows of shops and apartments.
And I guess it's time to end the episode.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you tomorrow, where we will continue the journey with the game, and we'll see where this is exactly going. So yeah, see you there. Bye bye.